this is Teacher Victorious, and today we'll be talking about 1946 to present education under the Philippine Republic, and that is the new secondary curriculum. Since gaining independence on 1946, the Philippines maintained an American model of education. It showed strong national control of all the schools in the country, made elementary education free and compulsory, and made secondary education free based on Free Secondary Education Act of 1988. We have the objectives of secondary education, and that is to continue to promote the objectives of elementary education and to discover and enhance the different aptitudes and interests of the students so as to equip them with skills for productive endeavor and prepare for tertiary education. It normally lasts for 4 years, and usually it is from ages 12 to 17. We have requirements for secondary education. The first is the completion of the primary education. That means that a student shall be able to go to secondary education as long as that student was able to finish from day schooling from grades 1 to 6. We have private. They have to pass first the competitive entrance examinations, and for public it is said that this is free but not compulsory. We have tackled a while ago that elementary education is free and compulsory. However, this secondary education, based on the history of the Philippine education, it has been labeled as free but not compulsory. The government offers scholarships for private secondary education where there aren't enough spaces available in public schools. You can check out on scholarships that are given by our government. There are a lot of scholarships, although I was not able to actually list one of them, but you can check it out later on. Now, continuing, we have two main types of secondary schools. First is the general high school, wherein 90% of the students are enrolled, and the next is vocational high schools, wherein not much of our schools or our areas have vocational high schools. Now, both offer the general academic curriculum, but vocational high schools offer additional courses in 5 main vocational fields. We have first, agriculture, next is fishery, third is trade technical, and fourth is home industry, and lastly, it's non-traditional fields. We have special high schools, Philippine Science High School, or abbreviated as PSHS. The first one is opened on 1963, an agency or service institute attached to the Department of Science and Technology, or the DOST. The general curriculum is added with enriched science, technology, mathematics, and English programs. Admission requirements: the student should be in the 90th percentile of the class or having a special aptitude for science and mathematics as attested by school authorities. So meaning, if you have 100 students on your school, we only get the 90th percentile, meaning the top 10 students of that school. From 50, that's 5 students. And also, if we have students which is attested by authorities that the students are really great in science and mathematics, we can also enroll the students to our Philippine Science High Schools. And lastly, the students should also pass the Philippine Science High School National Competitive Exam. Specials High School, we have Philippine High School for Arts. That is school for students gifted with expressive or creative arts. It supports the development of gifted and talented students in the fields of creative writing, dance, music, visual arts, and theater arts. Secondary education curriculum prior to 2002. It was implemented immediately following World War II, structured to meet the needs of both students who intended to pursue their education and those who would end their education in high school. major changes from revised secondary education program of 1973. Elective courses for academic and vocational subjects in years 2 to 4. Elective courses meaning the student is able to choose what she or he wants for a course. In addition to practical work experience for vocational track, that means that the student is able to have our so-called OJT nowadays, or the on-job training. And we have English courses encapsulated into communication arts, and we have social science and social studies is required courses in years 3, 4. Health and physical education replaced by youth development training and scouting, citizen army training or CAT, and physical education taught for 1 hour weekly. DECS Order Number 11, Series of 1989. New secondary education curriculum. It is based on cognitive, affective, and manipulative based. Cognitive, that starts from remembering to creating, or that's the Bloom's taxonomy if we actually dig deeper. And we have affective, more on the feelings, from receiving to characterization, I believe. And manipulative base, that is for the manipulation sets of movement, something like that. And we have a program in response to continued pupil development started by the program of decentralized education development, or that's the PRODED. When you talk about PRODED, meaning the central government is not the one who is already holding the management of these schools, but rather it is already decentralized, or meaning it's actually forwarded or divided. And then we have improved the quality of high school graduates and internal efficiency of the system, and also to expand access to quality secondary education. Legal basis of NSEC, or the new secondary education curriculum. It is mandated in Articles 2, Section 13 and 17, and Article 14, Section 1. Batas Pamansang 232 and Education Act of 1982. Values Education Framework of the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports. That's DECS before. And now it's already DepEd, as we know. NSEC Salient Features. First is the 1989 curriculum is student-centered, meaning we get away from the authoritarian type of teaching, and it's community-oriented, more on the involvement of our stakeholders in our education. The organization of content is multidisciplinary. The curriculum is cognitive, affective, and manipulative based. We already talked about taxonomy before. We have Benjamin Bloom's, Cratwell, and Simpson. I forgot the other one, but you can check on that later on. And we have, it is a one-track curriculum. There are 8 subject areas intended to provide general education. Values education is offered as a separate subject. Values development is integrated in all subject areas, meaning there are subjects which also include values, but there is a separate subject that is taught only for values. And we have work experience is integrated with technology and home economics and values education. Technology, it is emphasized in science and technology and THE. Desired learning competencies are identified in each subject area. The curriculum adheres to bilingual policy. Each subject has a 40-minute time frame, except for science and technology and THE, which has 60 minutes daily period for the first and second years. THE shall be programmed for 60 minutes daily in the third and fourth year. Critical thinking. It is emphasized to promote creativity and productivity at all levels. We have 8 NSEC subjects. Starting off with Filipino, we have development of communication and literary skills, focusing on Philippine, Afro-Asian, and world literature by Filipino writers. Araling Panlipunan, we have first year, that is the Philippine history and development. second year Asian Studies, third year Economics, fourth year World History. Education pangkatawan, kalusugan at musika, Philippine education or physical education, health and music, includes CAT in fourth year. We already discussed that a while ago. Education pampahalaga or values education. It's cognitive-based values development. English, we have development of critical thinking skills and communicative interactive competence. Science and technology, we have first year physical and biological sciences and technology. Second year, we have biology and technology. Third year, chemistry and technology. And fourth year, physical and technology, or physics, and technology. Mathematics, we have each curriculum year includes algebra, geometry, consumer mathematics, and statistics. Concept arranged in increasing complexity. And lastly, we have THE, technology and home economics. We have home economics, industrial arts, agricultural arts, entrepreneurship development. Medium of instruction, we have English and Filipino. We have for subjects with English instruction, we have English, science and technology, mathematics, technology and home economics. And for Filipino, we have Filipino, Araling Panlipunan, Edukasyong, Pangkatawan, Kalusugan at Musika. We have time shiftings as an example. And we have DepEd Order 25 series of 2002. Implementation of the 2002 Basic Education Curriculum supports the goals set forth by Educational Act of 1982. Assessment, rated 4 times a year in all subjects, encourages to use the non-traditional assessment methods. We may have open-ended questions, performance-based assessment, and portfolio assessments to complement traditional ones. We have multiple choice, completion, and matching. We have the test consisting of items varying difficulty, 60 items or 60% basic items, 30% more advanced items, and 10% for distinguished honor students. Have the passing grade of 75% and the lowest grade of 65%. Standardized forms of grading. We have the Form 137A, or the high school permanent record, is essentially the student's transcript listing all classes taken as well as grades earned for each class. It also indicates whether the student has graduated or not. For students graduating from private schools, Form 137A should also state the special order number. We have Form 138A. This is the high school report card, and it's issued to students once they have left high school permanently, whether because of graduation or due to an interruption of studies of at least 1 year. The form lists the final grades of the courses taken by the student. Completion certificates. We have diploma or katibayan from their school, and the certificate of graduation, that's the katunayan from DepEd. Bridge program. This is still on high schools, and it is a 1-year remedial course prior to entering regular high school. For students who do not pass high school readiness test, HSRT scoring 29% and below. So this is just it was actually eradicated. It was just a very short program because there was a revise in the educational system. So it has to be tested. Basically, this is for students who I think started their grade 1 from 6 or 7, something like that. And the government wanted to check if the students were actually ready for the education because they were younger. And during the testing, it was found out that it was actually just okay. So they discontinued the bridge program because they have seen that the students were able to adapt, and that even in their young age, it was actually just a good age for their educational track. We have references as the International Qualifications Assessment Service, Government of Alberta. This is a book, and DECS Order 11 series of 1989. Implementation of the secondary or the new secondary curriculum. Now, just for additional information, we have the K to 12 from RA, I believe it's 10533, and we have already an addition of the compulsory kindergarten and also the addition of 2 years that would be the senior high school. So basically K to 12 means kindergarten, and then 6 years in grade school, 4 years in junior high school, and 2 years in senior high school. This is because we are trying to make sure that we level up our educational system with the rest of the world, because we were part of just 3 countries stuff in this in the world with the 10-year education program. That's Djibouti and Angola, I believe. So we have changes, and we have, for senior high school, we have tracks. We have BAM, Business, Accounting, and Management. We have STEM, I believe, or something about academics and TVET. You can check that out. It's very new, starting from 2012. I haven't included that in our report, but you can check it out. And you can also ask for a copy of this PowerPoint presentation. Just leave a comment below our video. Thank you, and have a good day.